Hello there, my fellow Dark Souls 3 fanatics. What's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and we are talking about all things Dark Souls 3. In fact, we've got news about a release date, a beta, all new info from GameInformer. I mean, there is a mind-blowing amount of info here. We're going to be talking about how combat, magic, covenants, PvP, and more have changed. So use that video guide in the description below to skip ahead to the info you see. Let's do this. So what about this release date, Robbie? Well, the Dark Souls 3 Japanese release date is now officially March 24th, 2016 for PS4 and Xbox One. And then the PC will be seeing the game sometime at a later date. Now, I would expect the American release date to be sometime around February or March. Now, interestingly, America and other countries could get it sometime earlier. So Segment Next spotted the game's release date being around February 2nd. That is interesting because it does fall on a Tuesday, and if you know Tuesdays, games released mostly on Tuesdays, so we will see what happens there. But honestly, I would expect the American and the United Kingdom release date for Dark Souls 3 to be sometime in March. Don't hold out on me, Robbie. What about this beta? Yes, Dark Souls 3 will be receiving a beta for the PS4. Now, this is unknown if it's going to be for just Japan or not. We will be finding out soon enough. Now, this will be live between October 16th through the 18th of this year. You know, I remember Bloodborne did an alpha, and it was possible to get into that, but it was extremely limited. I think the same thing will be true about this. I think it will be a closed beta, perhaps even an invite only. So we will be finding out soon enough. Stay tuned. But let's take a look at the brand new gameplay details from GameInformer. The footage you're seeing here is from IGN. Be sure to check out the full 16-minute demonstration from IGN in the description below. You definitely do not want to miss it, but let's dive straight in. So first of all, Dark Souls 3 will be as difficult as its predecessors. You may be hearing that they're trying to make it more accessible. You keep hearing that about Bloodborne, but be reassured that definitely Dark Souls 3 will be as difficult as Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1. Now, this is what is going to be changing about the game. The action aspects from Bloodborne will be trickling their way into Dark Souls 3, and combat is expected to be much faster as a result. Now, what's changing about combat? That's a really good question. So, Battle Arts are a brand new feature in combat, giving players access to weapon-specific special abilities that have a certain amount of charges and must be refueled at bonfires. These include the Great Sword Lunge, Rapid Fire Bow Attacks, probably going to be one of my favorites. I feel like the bow is something I want to put on the forefront more in my Dark Souls experience. And then also they gave another example, the Whirlwind Attack while dual wielding. That sounds pretty badass to me, but if you guys know Dark Souls, you really do want to roam around with the shield, so I don't think that's going to be my go-to ability for this game. Oh, you gotta love the boss battles in Dark Souls 2. Now, Battle Arts are going to be great for boss battles, but magic is not being neglected. Magic will also see some unique characteristics for the actual spells and stuff like that. So you can expect some brand new spells and badass magic if you are a mage type user. But magic is also now managed by a mana bar instead of limited charges. I think this is really good. This will separate magic from your items, making it very unique and also allowing you guys to really experiment with your mage class for sure. And yes, Dark Souls 3 will of course have full-blown multiplayer support, co-op, PvP, that sort of thing. But guess what? They're shooting for 6-player multiplayer in this game. Now, this is what they're shooting for. It's uncertain if this will actually make the cut. I'm hoping it does, but it is their goal to get it in the game before release. You know, one thing I would love to see return from Demon Souls is the ability to play as a boss and just surprise people. You are the PvP invader and you are the boss. But anyway, PvP will be returning in the game, of course. Now, this is the interesting part. You will not require going out and grabbing a special item or whatever to engage in PvP. Instead, you can expect to be playing PvP right out of the gates, it seems. So I think that's going to be great for anyone that's just wanting to play the game for PvP. So I think with this game, Dark Souls 3, PvP will be on the forefront more so than any other Souls game ever was. But what about Covenants, Robbie? Can you tell me more about those? Will those be returning from the Souls franchise? Yes. All Covenants will now share the same rules though, so that's what's going to be really changing. It used to be when you joined a Covenant, you didn't know if you would be able to play co-op or PvP. You found out as you joined that Covenant. Now, all Covenants will have a base rule. You will be able to play no matter what throughout your entire experience in Dark Souls 3. Whether you join this Covenant or that Covenant, you will be able to play both PvP and co-op. Now, what's interesting about this, of course, is some Covenants will favor playing co-op versus PvP, but they are not going to change your network restrictions. It's not going to be like, oh, you're not going to be allowed to play PvP at all if you join this Covenant. So that's one thing I think that will actually help the experience big time. You will probably be running into a lot more players thanks to them really streamlining that experience. So you have journeyed through the lands of Dark Souls 3 and you've stumbled into a boss like in Dark Souls 2 maybe that's just too hard and you want to fast travel to some other area to farm for the proper items to really face off against this boss. Well, fast travel will be returning, and this time you will have access to fast travel right out of the gates. The beautiful lands of Dark Souls 3 will cripple your soul. Trust me, it is going to be so difficult, and you may find yourself with a character build that absolutely sucks. And you're like, Robbie, I want to reallocate my points. Is this possible? Yes, reallocating your points is possible, but the method you use is unknown. It's definitely not going to be the Soul Vessel from what GameInformer said, so it's expected to be something different. But good news, you will be able to reallocate those points. And what you are seeing here is a new feature called the Ceremonial Ritual. Now, this is rumored to be something where you actually create your own bonfire. GameInformer wasn't able to find out full details about that, but stay tuned. We will have full details right here on Open World Games. And hidden walls are back in Dark Souls 3. You can expect to be whacking at the walls or accidentally revealing them. The accidental reveals is what they're going for with this mechanic. They really want it to be something that people are like, what? What is this? There's something behind this wall. So that's going to be cool that that is returning. Now, also, New Game Plus is returning. Yes, of course, we have to have our New Game Plus, and it will add new enemy configurations and new items, and expect it to be difficult as well. So From Software believes that weapons broke way too often in Dark Souls 2, so we will be seeing some tweaks with the weapon durability in Dark Souls 3, so expect those to last a little bit longer than Dark Souls 2. So the infamous Souls tutorial, as they would call it, we'll be seeing some major tweaks, so expect something brand new. You know, From Software, they don't want you to pick up the game and go, oh, this again. They want the experience to seem somewhat unfamiliar, but familiar at the same time. So we will be seeing what happens with that. I'm so curious to see what happens with that. Maybe they will just have something where you open a door and you instantly die from a fireball. Who knows? So we will see. Let me know what you guys would like to see from an epic Dark Souls tutorial. Please post in the comments below. Get devious with it. And yes, there'll be dragons in the lands of Dark Souls 3. So dragons will be returning in Dark Souls 3, and there will be specific weapons tied to these dragons. But good news, you will not have to cut off the tail of these dragons. That mechanic has been cut from the game simply because it's received, such negative feedback. So you will just have to kill this dragon, not its tail. And remember how you had to trade with those crows in the previous Souls games? Well, that will be returning. It might not be crows that you will be trading with, though. There's a hint and a tease in the GameInformer magazine that we will be expecting something new. So the famous signature sword, the Moonlight Sword, will be making an epic return as well. And as you can see here, the Dark Souls 3 cover box art was revealed. Looks pretty damn epic in my opinion. He is gauging the wind. Maybe there's a tornado around the corner. No, just kidding. But also, the map was revealed over here to the left, as you can see. I've always been curious about something. Do you guys want to see a full-blown mini-map or something where you could pause the game and see a map. I really do not want to see this, I'll be honest with you. For the Souls games, I think you really should have to use memory. Maybe you could make your own map. Now that would be cool if you actually had to lay something down and chart your own path. But you know, Bloodborne and Dark Souls are really games about pure exploration. You are meant to get lost. That's why I love these games. So please post in the comments below if you guys want to see an actual map at all times where you know where you are going. I'm extremely curious to see your opinion about that. So, Dark Souls 3 is coming. So yeah, at least we have a release date for Japan. That does give us an idea of what to expect for the other countries. Now, I would expect March 15th to be possibly the date for America and the United Kingdom, around there, mid-March. March 15th is a Tuesday and sounds just about right in my opinion. I remember Bloodborne came out during March. But also, this beta, I hope it's more open this time. I'd love to get in on this. October 16th through the 18th are the dates for the beta. I'll let you guys know if it's an open beta, closed beta, what countries are going to be involved. But honestly, I'm going to expect it to be something like Bloodborne, very closed, invite only, so expect that. But hopefully they really stress those servers out and make this co-op and PvP experience something very, very special. So by all means, check out the full-blown 16-minute demonstration from IG, and as you can see here, it looks so freaking impressive. Really curious to see if I will survive this dragon the first time around. I feel like I'm getting better every time I go into a Souls game, but they always have some sort of new wrinkle that always throws you off and you have to get used to it. Let me know, what is your favorite Dark Souls game so far? Is it Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2? Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Open World Games for more Dark Souls 3 coverage, and I will see you soon enough in the world of Dark Souls 3. Prepare to be invaded.